Henford on Bagley may seem like the perfect place to live, but the smallest towns hold the biggest secrets.
I became a total slag.
This video is presented by EA Game Changers. Thank you, EA, for providing me a copy of the pack early. Thanking y'all. Hey hens, how are we all diddly doing? How's everybody holding up? Today is going to be an entire history of, which I am very excited about, let me tell you hens. If you don't know what my entire history of series is, I basically take things in The Sims and really investigate them. For a long time it's been typically lore, but I am also delving out into other things. I'm currently researching for a custom content video, so check my community post tab if you want to submit any of your experiences with custom content on there. So today we're going to be delving into the entire history of Henford on Bagley, and I am very excited about this, A, because this is my favourite pack to be released in The Sims 4 so far, and B, because I love entire history ofs, and C, because there actually is a lot of stuff to get into in this. So without further ado, I want to just kind of set the scene before we go and dive in straight away. The world that we're talking about is Henford on Bagley, which is a town that's included in The Sims 4 cottage living and is set in the Cotswolds in England, which apparently is Oxford. I didn't know that, but I don't leave the north, so... First, we're going to get into Finchwick. Finchwick is like the village centre. It's where all the hustle and bustle is. I'm going to paint a picture of that first before we get into the families. Nestled along the River Bagley, the old mill village of Finchwick prides itself on its bustling and close-knit community. Its historic square features a pub and quaint stalls amid a flowering garden, perfect for a little winter shopping. Tourists and locals alike flock to the weekly village fair, where Finchwick's mayor makes a special appearance to judge entries and gossip about the latest happenings. So like I said, Finchwick is basically the village centre. It's the most built up part of this world, but it still looks very rural. It's still got your cobblestones. Oh, it's beautiful, and it's hustle and bustle, but it's a different way than we've experienced so far in this game, and it matches the slow-paced vibe of Henford on Bagley beautifully. Then we have a little bit of lore straight in the centre. So the well in the centre of Finchwick used to be filled with water, but a certain elderly local hit someone so hard with a purse that they almost fell in. After that, the mayor had it drained and filled with flowers. And I don't need to spell it out for you, babe, but I will. Agnes Crumblebottom has probably cost the village thousands in damages, and I love that for her. She believed she could, so she did. We love strong female leads. And then we have the river that is basically running all throughout Henford on Bagley, and this has lore in and of itself as well. Before the bridge building frenzy a few hundred years back, you'd think the village was called Bridgertown or something, and I think that this might be a reference to Bridgerton, unless this is painstakingly obvious and I am the last one to notice it. You'd have to swim if you wanted to cross the River Bagley. Sims would always have their swimming clothes handy when doing errands around town, and you can actually swim in the River Bagley, so that bit of lore is 100% true. Like, you can swim, your Sims can swim in them, have a great old time, and some Sims will just be pottering around town in their swimwear, so even with the new bridges. But the Bridgertown joke definitely rings true, because you really can see a bridge every single place that you look in every area of the town, not just Finchwick. And then we have a little bit more lore as well to do with the river. It is perfectly safe to go swimming in River Bagley. Some people tend to shy away because of a ghost story. If that kind of tale tickles your fancy, you should go talk to the pub owner. I did actually question the pub owner rigorously. He told me to live a slow life. Am I the ghost? I did investigate, I really did. The amount of actions I had queued up to try and find about this fucking ghost story. But this isn't the final version of the pack, so I don't even know if the ghost story's been added into the lore yet. The pub owner, he was shit for information. I think he might have just needed a heart-to-heart with me, do you know what I mean? You never know. I might just need it to be told to slow down. Props, because I was asking him 50 questions at one time. And then we get into the houses. So the first lot that we're going to go to is the Gnome's Arms, which I love this name. It's a very stereotypical British pub name. This stone-built pub is the local hangout of choice around Finchwick, and it's not surprising to see folks from the entire surrounding Henford on Bagley area here. Head upstairs to watch a little football on the telly or enjoy some delicious local fare at the bar downstairs. Either way, it's clear what makes this place a community favourite. I love it. It's a very quaint English pub, and locals really do love this, and they really do sit and lounge upstairs. Oh my good God. I kept thinking someone was going to die because so many people were surrounding one area. I love to see it. Not the death. I'm happy that nobody tragically died on this day. But this pub as well also has ties to a family in town. If we go across the road at 3 Cobblebottom Street, this cosy home sits in the heart of Finchwick and is steps away from the small village's community hub. Though it can get a bit loud on fair days, there's no better place for a sim who wants to be part of it all. This family is owned by the Scott family, which is Simon and Sarah Scott. These two are married. As the owner of the Gnome's Arms, Finchwick's beloved pub, the Scotts are living the dream. Well, Sarah's dream at least. Simon, a city boy with no more city around, still feels a bit awkward every time he runs into a chicken. Still, he's here to support his wife's dream. Will their hopes of adding a new member to their tiny family change things up for better or worse? So I love that. There's a little bit of law there. They've just moved into the town. They own a local pub. My local pub, we watched get demolished last week, actually. Rest in peace, the Centurion. I'm really liking the tie so far in between. It doesn't just feel like you've randomised some Sims and put them in there. I actually enjoy how it all links together. So there's one main family in Finchwick, but there is a lot of people to talk to in Finchwick that actually have roles within the village as well. So it's not just random Sims that you're like, you're all right. There's actual people there, which I'll go into a bit more on my LP, as you'll find out if you watch that one. Please watch it, because I am very nervous about it. But yeah, the greengrocer sells everything you'd expect them to and has a heart of gold. She is my girl. I'm not going to name them because I've played a couple of different save files. Agnes and her cousin stay the same. Some of the other characters tend to change, so I'm not going to name any by name unless I know that they are 100% that one character, if this is making sense. But my heart genuinely goes out to this greengrocer, God bless her soul. She has a little crush on the creature keeper and she wants us to give him a rose to her. So when you go and give the rose to the creature keeper, he fucking friend zones her. How dare he? She is a catch. God bless her little cotton socks. It genuinely, I really did feel bad for her. She deserves better than him. And her stall is opposite the crumple bottom stall as well. So, I mean, on the day that Agnes is working there, I'm surprised that the greengrocer can keep such a, a happy outlook on life, because I don't think I could, looking into the dark, judging soul the size of Agnes Crumplebottom and /Aura handbag. Because Agnes does have an unyielding abhorrence for anyone who literally dares enjoy a little bit of life.
Are you kidding me?
And then, as we've mentioned, opposite the greengrocer's is the garden shop. And this is actually run by Agnes and Agnes's cousin, Agatha, which I really like that. I like the family ties as well, because we're adding on the law as we go through games, which is why I like to see law being added, just not in the Lothario and Caliente situation. That lot can just a fever dream, pretend it didn't happen. I'm assuming you already know how downright troubled and iconic Agnes is, and she will hit you if you try and flirt with her. In case you don't, I'll leave my entire history of Agnes Crumplebottom in the description, because it's a really sad story. It's kind of dark. I do recommend it because it's really interesting and she has a really deep history, really rich history. Bring tissues. But yeah, judging by Agnes, you'd think, if Agnes has a cousin who was running the stall, she might be just as bad, if not worse, than Agnes. But no, honestly, Agatha is literally 100% polar opposite. The birds sing when she walks past. She is the sun on a rainy day. Agnes is the rainy day. She balances Agnes out, honestly. She's really kind. I do love Agnes, but she does need humbling a couple of levels. Do you know what I mean? You can't just go out inciting violence on people. So Agatha is, she helps. And she pretty much stands for everything that Agnes does not, which is kindness, friendship, being an upstanding citizen, anger management, therapy. But yeah, how the two managed to run a successful start together, I will never know. But they do say opposites attract, and clearly it works in that situation. Yes, they are very much opposites, and I stand them both. Then we have the grocery deliverer and the bartender, and the bartender is very overworked, literally, as any person who works bar work tends to be. So very realistic. The law on that one 100% is quite right. Grocery deliverer is the cutest little soul who comes and delivers your grocery in a little paper bag. We actually have grocery shopping now, and they also do food delivery as well. And you know what, I might be taking this grocery deliverer to court because they 100% did steal the Uber Eats logo and put it in Simlish. I am also very tempted to just turn a blind eye to that. I pretend I do not see it. Sorry, I'm an absolute idiot. There is also a mayor, and the mayor is very important a little bit later on in the story. So that is pretty much it for the Finchwick area, which is the main hustle and bustle of the town. But just because it's the main hustle and bustle of the town doesn't mean that it's the only part where there's really rich law. I was actually really happy with every bit of law that's in every neighbourhood. So next we move on to Old New Henford, an area that boasts rolling hills, lush estates and a small community garden. Old New Henford is perhaps best known for its historical naming wars. You fucking telling me, I could have told you that one for free. Initially known as Little Henford, the neighbourhood renamed itself New Henford in an attempt to escape its diminutive origins. However, in neglecting to inform national mapmakers, they ceased to officially exist for a 2-week period. When told that to be reinstated would require yet another name change, residents chose Old New Henford, which beat out the other choice, New Henford, by a single vote. So all of the town is steeped in history, but this part is closer to the built-up area of Finchwick, where Bramblewood, the next town, is like really in the woods, and the housing style follows suit. So Old New Henford is a little bit more built up than Bramblewood, but not as built up as Finchwick. It's close enough to be near amenities, but far away enough to give you an idyllic setting. Right Move needs to hire me. And we do have a little bit of law here as well, so if you talk to the locals, they'll actually tell you a little bit about the next house we're going to talk about. A few years back, someone renovated a historic barn in Old New Henford area. I love seeing history preserved in special ways like that, a reminder that we don't have to leave our past behind to move forward. First off, absolutely agree. I love historical things and I think we should preserve them. We are not pulling a Henry VIII and just removing anything of historical value. Well, his was specifically the churches, which I think we should burn the churches. You know what? Maybe Henry VIII was my idol. Not the murders, but the burning of the churches. I do think Jesus would say burn the churches. Secondly, this little bit of law is actually referring to a New Start family, which is Cecilia Kang. And she lives at 4 Old Mill Lane. And 4 Old Mill Lane is a beautiful little place. It's a fusion of Old New Henford's historic past and cool present. This old barn has been completely refurbished into a cottage home. Tucked privately between the edge of Bramblewood and the River Bagley, a sim could easily forget the rest of the world exists while in its quaint garden. Do agree, it is a beautiful lot. Do other people have barns? Renovated barns are a big thing here, especially where I'm from, because I'm like a stone's throw away from the countryside. And the sim living here, as I said, is Cecilia Kang. She is absolutely stunning and beautiful, God love her. And after living in the big city and having her heart broken, Cecilia decided to ditch everything she knew for a small garden plot and some chickens. Love that, literally hay hens. She's still looking for someone to share this life with though, after a date she'd love to forget with local creature keeper Michael Bell, the bastard. She's happy to only form long-term attachments with the critters that visit for now. We will delve into that one a little bit more, but yes, Cecilia Kang, she is a single lady living her life. I love that. I would like to be Cecilia Kang, potentially without the heartbreak, please. But yeah, we'll talk about the creature keeper Michael Bell a little bit more further on. But next up, we move on to the Watson family, which live in Old Mill Hill, which is kind of opposite the 4 Old Mill Lane where Cecilia lives. I love referring to them all by first name basis. You know, I really feel like I am at one with these Sims. I feel like I fucking live there. What is it, babe? Delusion. So Old Mill Hill is pretty much the centrepiece of Old New Henford. It's a sizable estate that sits perched at the top of Old Mill Hill and has been part of the Watson family for generations. So we've got a real sense of a multi-generational household kind of thing. Love that, love that. I want to buy my full family an entire house to live in. There's almost too much land for one family to tend. This is where the problems start, babe. Though the sprawling gardens and yard leave plenty of room for growing a variety of crops and keeping a bevy of animals. But then there is actually trouble afoot in the Watson family. So the Watson family consists of Thomas Watson, the dad, Rami Watson, the mum, Rashida Watson, the eldest daughter, Imran Watson, the eldest son, and Mera Watson, the youngest daughter. So it's Thomas and Rami, and they have 3 kids, Rashida, Imran, and Mera. So let's get into the law a little bit. So inheriting the family estate was always the plan for Thomas, but he is in fact in over his head. It's not going well, babe. It's not. What a day. For a man who equates success with crop size, there's a metaphor there. He's losing both his confidence and his family. While his wife Rami loves the country air, her feelings for her husband are becoming stale and her affections have wandered. Ah, shit, here we go again. The oldest of their 3 children, Rashida, feels trapped, preferring to dream of a future outside of Henford on Bagley. Dreams that have sparked something between her and a kindred soul. The 2 youngest couldn't be more different. Imran treasures the security of life at home, while Mera can be found bravely venturing out into the unknown. Will this hectic family come together or fall apart in their old new home? So that is basically the law. I think for the kids, honestly, I think that's quite a realistic thing. Like, the oldest daughter is feeling a bit trapped and wants to go. My eldest brother, I only have one brother, so he's also my youngest brother. My older brother, basically, he's fucked off to Ireland. I do miss you very much. I was crying myself to sleep the other night over you, actually. My oldest, this is actually my experience, fucking hell. Joe feels trapped, trying to dream of a future outside of Middlesbrough. The two youngest couldn't be more different. Joanna treasures the security of life at home. My sister literally lives on the same road as my mum and dad. That's as far away as she was willing to go. While Jessica can be found bravely venturing out into the unknown. I suppose I have been to America, and that is an unknown for my family, who are all terrified of flying. So I am the Watson family, but my mum and dad have a very nice and healthy marriage. My mother's affections have not wandered, thank you. But yeah, I think this is basically like a very normal family life in terms of the children, but there is definitely tension between the mum and dad. And I do have a theory, right, on who the mum's affections have wandered to. This is theory. I haven't found any fact yet. So these are all hearsay. But hey, I say it's fucking right. So I checked on the family relationships. As I said, this can't be proven, but I think I know. The grocery store woman, well, it was a woman in man came, tries to send a rose to Michael Bell, the creature keeper, and he friend zones her. And then Cecilia moves to the town after being heartbroken, and who does she find herself on a date with? Michael Bell, the creature keeper. And then finds herself wishing she never even went on the date. And now I think that Rami Watson's affections are wandering, and I'm going to say it, I'll say it, the wandering to Michael Bell, the creature keeper, the womanizer. He is the English countryside version of Don Lothario. I'm calling it, Your Honour. And I'm just going to send a warning to all the people in Henford on Bagley. If Michael Bell asks you to his rooftop, don't do it, because Bella Goth learned her lesson the hard way, babe. Anyway, Michael Bell. Womanizer. Oh, so yeah, that can't be proven, and that's just my theory, but I think it's a very plausible theory. So I'm coming to you in the editing process to give you the actual truth, because at the time of recording this, I recorded this before our content was allowed to go out, so I didn't see what the people were posting. But my girl, the English simmer, has given me the truth. I have been enlightened. My eyes have done. Anyway, the truth is better, so much better than my theory, which I'm very happy to say. So, besties, this better not be a glitch, because the drama in Henford on Bagley is about to fuel me for months. Rami, our girl, where is she? Our girl, Rami, has already been in a fucking relationship with the mayor.
It's a conspiracy theory that I'm actually interested in.
And she's bitter about the breakup. Rami can't quite shake some resentment towards Lavina about how their romantic relationship ended. Rami might find it unpleasant to be around Lavina for a while. This was not in the relationship panel, though, for me. I don't know why it wasn't, because I definitely checked the relationship panel and there was nothing there. So I was like, oh, well, okay, you couldn't, pick somebody. But apparently they did. I completely forgot about sentiments. So I'm very, very happy to let the truth get in the way of a good story this time only. Then we move on to Bramblewood. Bramblewood is in the top left of the world, and it's basically, well, Bramblewood. It's full of brambles and woods. The natural beauty of these woods have long provided a picturesque place for many wild birds, rabbits and foxes to call home. Whether secret in a small surprise unto Sophie the snail, bringing an easel to paint the serene Cordelia Falls, foraging for wild mushrooms, or finding romance among the ruins in the Isle of Volpe. Any sim would be transformed by a day in Bramblewood. So, Bramblewood. Despite being the most uninhabited, actually no sims live here apart from Michael Bell, the NPC. It is the steepest in lore, in my humble opinion. Hello, sorry once again, I was playing in the wrong save file. I should have started on a fresh save file. But by the time that I went to record entire history, I haven't got all my footage and information. Derek and Ian Moody were both dead, because they are elders in the game, so I think we would have got on very, very well. But yeah, there is Derek and Ian. They are married. It's Ian Moody and Derek Macmillan. And Ian, as you can see, is deeply connected to Agatha Crumplebottom. Who wouldn't be? Honestly, she's an absolute angel. And then Derek has no relationships and no sentiments with anyone. He just like classical music. Oh, he looks like he does. He's a best-selling author. Oh, and he's friend of the world. Oh, is that why he's got no friends? Because all he does is write books. Oh, I love that. But yeah, there is a little couple. Sorry. I'm sorry that you're dead. So first we have the temple. The temple is kind of in the middle of a lake, a river kind of thing. There's lots of bridges, as you've guessed. We have a bit of lore from, I think it was the bartender that I got this from. Long ago, ancient druids. I do actually need to get the definition of druids. Long ago, ancient druids. Druids, the definition of is a priest, magician, or soothsayer in the ancient Celtic region. A member of the high-ranking class in ancient Celtic cultures. Druids were religious leaders as well as legal authorities, adjudicators, law keepers. Oh, bitch, I'm a law keeper, medical professionals, and political advisors. So basically, they're just like members of society. So ancient druids ran a temple on the Isle of Volp, deep in the Bramblewood. They shared a special connection with the foxes there. At least that's what all the elders in the village have always told me. And that's referencing the building that's in the middle of this. And this is proven by the fact that on the side of it, there's a fox engraved into the stone. So that's a really nice bit of information. I really like that it's building on the entire lore of the town. And then the lore doesn't stop there. So the main feature of this world that you can travel to is the big, massive park. Find or leave a present under Sophie the Snail, relax behind the serene Cordelia Falls, explore the ruins, charm the local wildlife, or go foraging for wild mushrooms, blah, 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 blah. Highlighting this particular bit of text from Vault Park, Sophie the Snail, or the Snail Trail as I like to call it. Do not repeat that phrase in public though, because it is not what you think it is. Sorry. Sophie the Snail and the kind of maze surrounding it is actually a reference to a maze at EA Redwood Shores where the Sims franchise is actually made. And it does feel a little bit like breaking the fourth wall. My suspension of disbelief is fucking shattered, babe. But I absolutely love this reference. I really like the nod to bit self-serving. No, I jest. I really like it. I like to see references like this, especially in the older games when there was references like Will Wright. That did kind of come across as slightly narcissistic, Will, but I did enjoy it nonetheless, and I really like this kind of same thing here. Then you might have also picked this up in Isle of Volp's park description and also the description of the world, but relax behind the serene Cordelia Falls. Well, there's more than just that. There is also Cordelia's secret cottage, and then the biography of this homestays. Those willing to make the hike up Cordelia Falls are rewarded with an enchanting secret. Nestled neatly near the top of the falls and rumoured to have once secretly housed young girls on holiday, this small cottage is the perfect hideaway to enjoy nature, fish, and relax amidst the Bramblewood. Yes, this is a fucking reference to Princess Cordelia, the long-running narrative in The Sims 4. She has been here, and I didn't actually know about Princess Cordelia until 2019, I think. Late 2019, anyway. If you aren't aware of her, and again, I wasn't for the longest time, I do have an entire history of her, so you can find out more. But you can also just go into Build By and search Cordelia, because that is where the majority of her story is told. I think she's a really interesting bit of The Sims 4 lore, and I really like to see any reference to her. And I like that there's such a strong reference here to her as well. Michael Bell reminds me of the TikTok where it's like, shut the fuck up, you fucking bitch. Why don't you oof yourself, you fucking bitch? And then it's like, that's what he reminds me of, because he goes around womanizing every part of the town. And then if you go and try and see him, he's like, oh, I'm just tending my flowers in my cottagecore vibe. Do you know what I mean? So that's who he reminds me of. But yeah, because he lives in Bramblewood, which is where most of the animals like birds and rabbits, etc., and all of the plants located, if you do go and see him, as I just said, he will literally just be taking care of plants. But you can help him, and he'll give you mushroom mash. And the mushroom mash will make you mashed, which is also a British word for we have a lot of words for drunk, but mashed is a word for drunk. So potential connotations behind that one, I mean, that is the entire history of Henford on Bagley, and there's a lot of it. My script for this is 5 pages long and 2,000 words. That is a university essay, and that's just the plan. Like, I will obviously be adding more to this as I'm talking and everything, and I love the lore that is incorporated here. It's a nice mix of oldies like Agnes Crumplebottom, not her age. I know she's an old person. I'm not insulting you, Agnes. If you're watching this, don't fucking hit me, babe. But it's a nice mix of old law mixed with new law, and the old law also being intermixed with the new law, if that's making sense. So we've got new, old, and then they also come together. And I really like the continuing story of Princess Cordelia. I'm really intrigued by her, and I love that she's incorporated here. I also love the fact that the snail maze is a reference to the studios where The Sims is made. I love anything like that. And I'm also, as much as I mean, to be fair, you'll have to watch my LP to find out my Sims entire history with Michael Bell. But yeah, I do kind of like that we have a basic English version of Don Lothario. And I say English because this is literally set in the Cotswolds, which is England, but a lot of places in the UK and Ireland and everything have these views. But yeah, be aware, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, because from my experience, if your lad is more interested in rabbits than in you, there's a metaphor there somewhere. So Thank you all very, very much for watching this video. Like I said in the introduction as well, I'm currently researching for a video on custom content in The Sims 4. If you want to send me your experience, it can literally be any experience, but I am more interested in The Sims 1 and 2 because there's going to be less easily accessible information on there, so I'm going to have to really rely on people's experiences for that one. So even just like, oh, I remember visiting this site, or I remember this weird bit of custom content, or I remember this custom content drama kind of thing, you can check the community tab for my email. It's just eho@plumbella.co.uk and send me your experiences. Send me any images, links that you want to, even if it's just an anecdote. It can be as short or as long as you want to, and I'm hoping to do more long form videos like that because I want that video to be about 45 minutes. So yeah, leave any other video ideas as well for entire history of. I have one still waiting and ready to go on the entire history of the Spectre family. I just need I keep threatening to do Nostalgia Week, and then we just keep having packs coming out. So my entire life has been pre-record shitloads and then edit shitloads, and then it's time to pre-record again. So yeah, thank you all very, very much for watching this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye, bitch.